A lot of manufacturing requiring high labor input would go to India, obviously, because India's got over 1.2 billion people. So that's one point. The other point is that India is gradually coming to an agreement with the U.S. on tariffs. I believe they will reach some agreement. And when that happens, that, of course, will be very positive for India. Latin America, for some reason, has not stepped to the plate in terms of manufacturing and in terms of coming to the table and opening up their markets. As you know, Brazil is the largest country, but it has a very closed market. So I think it'll be more difficult for Latin America to do anything in that direction. Relations between India and Pakistan have never been good. And of course, they're both nuclear powers. So this is something we have to watch carefully. But even more importantly than that is the tension between India and China on the border in the north. So I believe these tensions will be there, but I don't think it's going to have that much impact on India's ability to export, import, and manufacture. It's too big a country to be harmed by these kinds of issues.
How about China? Because we know negotiations between the U.S. and other countries around trade right now are sort of aimed at ring fencing China in. And I'll give you an example. Indonesia has apparently put forward a proposal to the USTR, and it hinges on two key points. The first is that Indonesia will lower the trade gap with America and bolster U.S. imports. But the second is that Jakarta will reduce imports from other countries. They import a lot from China. If we see more of these types of deals struck with the U.S., how great is the risk for China?
I think China is in very, very bad situation because the target by the U.S. is China. There's no question about that. And a lot of the practices that took place previously under the World Trade Organization were violated time and time again. And I believe at the end of the day, China is really going to be in trouble unless they're willing to come to the table and concede an awful lot. I'm afraid, given the current political structure in China, they will not be willing to do that. And that is not a very good sign. So I believe at the end of the day, other countries like Indonesia will open up their markets, will reach agreement with the U.S. Of course, the danger there is transshipments. The U.S. is going to watch very carefully any transshipments of Chinese goods going through Vietnam, Indonesia, and all these other countries will be severely curtailed.